All right, welcome everybody to, it is going to be Tuesday night. Tuesday night we have a Dream Team webinar. This is going to be some Dream Team training for you guys. My name is Alessandro, for those of you that don't know me. I am also with the Dream Team. I am Kenya's husband. Kenya has a pretty good Facebook presence, so everyone should know who Kenya is, and I'm the other guy. I'm the other person. Anyways, so welcome everybody to tonight's hangout. We got some really cool stuff we're going to be going over with you guys tonight. This is going to be mainly some affiliate training. There's just been a big excitement and going on about the affiliate side of DS Domination. In the next 3-4 months from now, or whatever the case may be, they're going to be unveiling some really cool stuff where the affiliates are really going to benefit big time, and a lot of money is going to start rolling in. So, what I want to talk to you guys about is about retention and duplication within your team. And when I say retention and duplication within your team, I'm actually talking about the people that you personally enroll into DS Domination. And so the people that you personally enroll in DS Domination are going to be your immediate team. Now, everyone on this webinar is going to be associated and affiliated with the Dream Team, which is the overall team that we all belong to. But within your own system, within your own personal enrollees, you're going to have your own team that you want to develop and grow and retain, ultimately, and duplicate. And so what I'm going to show you guys tonight is how Kenya and I have actually gone through, and we've actually implemented a system that we run through and go through with everybody in the system that we've started to help retain who we have in our front line. And then also we want us to teach people how to duplicate. I think around 275, 300 personal enrollees that we have. We've retained 70% of them, 75% of them. So we have close to 200 plus or so personal enrollees, and that's just including our front line. And with that, I'm going to show you the system on how we actually do it. So. Looks like everybody can hear me. If you guys can hear me, I know there's a little bit of a delay, but if you guys can hear me, chat in the box or put a little yes, you can hear me, no, you can't. I'm going to type this in real quick. Okay, and let's just make sure before I start talking, if I start talking and I find out nobody can hear me, that will be, all right, good. Perfect. Got some yeses, yes, clear, cool, awesome. Awesome. Okay, very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. What we're going to do is we're just going to talk about retention duplication and how we've done that throughout the team. And hopefully what you guys are going to learn here from this training tonight is how to apply it directly to your own team. Now, whether you have one affiliate underneath you or you have 100 affiliates underneath you, you can apply this to anything, okay? And so it's going to work for you guys just like it's worked for us. So there'll be some key points. I'll let you guys know about those key points that you guys will be able to hone in on, and we'll go from there. All right, well, welcome everybody. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and got a little PowerPoint slide here for you guys, and I'm going to share my screen as well. Okay, desktop, start screen share. Okay, you guys should be seeing my screen, hopefully, and we're going to get you guys started. Okay, so Dream Team, retention and duplication. What I have split up here for you guys is we went ahead and split this up into two main categories. And basically, what happens is before people sign up and after people sign up, what are the jobs that we should be doing? What are the tasks, the things that we should put in front of us each step of the way? Obviously, what we're taking into consideration now is all the marketing that we do. If you are unfamiliar with all the marketing that we have, if you go into Dream Team website, you'll see that we have Craigslist, Facebook, YouTube, training, blogging, all this cool stuff that you can apply. Okay. Typically, what happens after somebody has acquired about DS domination, most likely they're going to contact you. They're going to call you in some way or another. What we highly recommend is that you get them on the phone. Okay. You can sign people up automatically and they just sign you up, but what we've noticed is that when somebody can actually talk to you physically, it tends to add a little bit more personal touch to it. People want to see that they're connecting with other people. They want to feel they're part of something, and so when you give them that personal human touch, whether it just be a phone call or whatever it may be, a video chat, Skype call, whatever the case may be, it's going to let them know that they're not just a number. They're actually joining a person. Because the reality is that people don't just join systems or don't just join opportunities. They join people, and it's a great opportunity for you as the individual, as the person that's doing the marketing, to actually connect with somebody and actually build relationships. Because ultimately, that's what this business is all about. It's about building that relationship. We look back at what we've seen here in the Dream Team just when we all met in Las Vegas, and then you could even see in Facebook on the groups that we have, the community and the family that is been created. And it's not just about the money. It's not just about getting a paycheck, but there really are people that sincerely care for one another. And so, starting out here, typically when somebody calls us, based on one of our marketing ads or Facebook or whatnot, and they're usually interested in DS domination, they might have already gone to the sales video at this point. And so we're actually going to they're actually going to call us, or we're going to call them, and we're going to set up a time where we can meet with them over the phone or via Skype, or depending on where in the world they are. We've done stuff over Skype clear across the world. And so the first step we want to do is it's really just exploratory. We really just want to find out who they are, what they do, what they like. At this point, we're really just trying to find out a couple key things about this person. And so first things first is let's just get to know them. Okay, and getting to know them is just really questions that you would ask any friend or any person out in the street that you'd want to get to know better. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where do you live? Your family. Tell me about your spouse if you're married. Tell me about your job. Tell me about this. And what you'll come to find out most of the time is people enjoy telling their story. Okay, everybody wants to tell their story because to them, their story is the most interesting thing in the world. And so when they're telling their story to other people, it's really giving them an opportunity to, in a sense, kind of vent, if you want to say that, because obviously they're contacting you because they see an opportunity. And they wouldn't be contacting you just because they want to be your best friend. I mean, they're actually looking for answers to maybe a problem that they have financially, or maybe a dissatisfaction with their job. And so as they contact you, their story is going to come out. Okay, and you need to be a good listener at this point. Okay, don't interrupt people. Let them talk. Okay, now when you're talking to these people, you're going to have some guided questions and whatnot. And you can prepare that ahead of time. But ultimately, what you're really trying to find out from them is you're trying to find out their why. Okay, why are they calling you? Why are they interested in this opportunity? What is it that's really making them want to take a serious look at this opportunity? And better yet, what is it that's making them want to take a serious look at your opportunity? Because at this point, now you're on stage, okay? They might have seen a video about you. They might have connected with your personality, whatever it may be. This is your opportunity to really dive in and listen to them and really find out what their why is. And the reality is that if they don't have their why, they're really fooling themselves. Because if somebody comes to you and says, well, I just want to make more money, well, no, you don't just do something because you want to make more money. What's the reason why you want to make more money? Okay? And it's okay to ask these questions to these people. It's okay to really dig in and find out what they really are striving to get. The reason why most people quit their job, most people quit opportunities, most people give up on things is because their why isn't strong enough. They don't have a desire to move forward. Because their why isn't tugging enough at them in order to make that much of a difference. One thing I want to back up to real quick, and I forgot to mention this, but as we get, another reason why most people want to connect and why you want to get to know them is people want to feel like they belong to something, and people want to feel like you care. Um, for those of you that know this, the unions were very powerful in the first part of the century, and it seemed like everybody was part of the union. It wasn't because the union was promising all these great things and they were standing up for people, but in that time, in that era, that there were big corporate jobs and a lot of factory working jobs, people weren't treated the way they were treated today. The hours of working were extensive, and the corporation didn't want to hear anybody's problems. They just wanted people to work. Well, what the union did was the union came in and they decided, you know what? We're going to come in and we're going to listen to you. We're going to treat you like family. And that's exactly what they did. And they won the hearts of all these employees that eventually joined these unions. And that's how the unions got so big and so strong in the first part of the century, was because they were the surrogate family for most of these people that were working where their corporate job was not, or their factory job was not giving them that satisfaction. The unions came in and filled that position. And that's what made it so powerful, is that they were the family. They were the family unit. And they understood, and they were there with the families and with the workers, and it made a big difference for them. And so with that being said, I want to move back forward to go back to your why. Your why has to be strong. They have to have a really strong why in order to really want to change something in their lives. And that is typically the number one reason why most people will fail, is because they don't feel that they can do it. They don't feel that there's any worth to what they're doing. It's because their why isn't strong enough. So, get a little bit of water here. Okay. So from that point on, after we finally establish what their why is, and their why could be various things. For my wife Kenya, her why was to get out of working the regular job, working as a nursing job where she was basically a slave to her employer. She worked when her employer told her to work, and I think that's the same thing with all of us in a sense, is that we wanted that freedom to be able to be with our families, or maybe we wanted to be able to make more money so that we can do other things with our families and friends and whatnot. And so the why has to be very strong. And there is some training on finding your why and goal setting and all that stuff in the back office for Dream Team, so you can look at that as well. I always like to ask, and Ken, we always like to ask them what their expectation is. What do they plan on getting out of this if they join our team? And so we let them talk, and most of the time people are going to talk about what they're looking, how much money they're looking to make, and maybe they're thinking, well, this is pretty easy. I think I can do this. They tend to get into this. I don't want to say it's a position where they're making things up and what it's saying, but ultimately they have expectations of what they think this business is going to be like. Okay, and you want them to express those expectations, because the next question is you're going to be able to set a lot of that straight. Okay, and what you're going to do is be able to talk to them about what they realistically can expect. And what I always tell people when they join, when they're getting ready to join DS Domination, I tell them, hey, listen, the copy and paste concept is very simple, very easy to understand, but there is a level of skill that you're going to need to acquire. There is a level of skill that you're going to have to learn in order to do this. I mean, the copy and pasting part, yeah, in theory, everything is very simple, but to dig in there and actually go out there and find the products and whatnot, it's going to take a little bit of training. Your brain is going to have to get used to finding items and whatnot. And so I like to let people know and expect that ahead of time, saying, hey, listen, this isn't that you just turn on your computer and press a couple buttons. The training is there for a reason, and you're going to have to apply that training in order to be successful. I always let them know that they're going to have patience. It's very important that they be very patient with the learning process. Just like you learn anything in life, the first couple times you do it, there's going to be a level of difficulty, a level of frustration, maybe a level of anxiety that overtakes somebody because they can't find an item or whatever the case may be. But we want to make them know that, if you just stick with it and you listen to what your sponsor's telling you, they're going to do fine. They're going to do great. They have a lot of support here within DS Domination that will be able to help them and make sure that they succeed. I always let people know they got to be coachable. Okay, you got to be willing to listen to what I'm going to tell you, because the things I'm going to tell you are the same thing I'm going to tell everybody else that has joined our team and has been successful. And so if they're not willing to be coached, if they're not willing to listen, if they're thinking that they're going to do things their own way, then we tell them right off the bat, hey, listen, this may not be the right time for you, okay? Because it's going to take, you're going to have to watch the videos. You're going to have to listen to what we say. We've had multiple people that decided not to listen and ended up getting in serious trouble with their eBay and Amazon accounts. And so ultimately, they have to be coachable. And I would have to say this has to be the most important out of all of them. When I'm setting expectations, I'm going to let them know that if they don't get anything else out of this, they need to get this. But they need to have the right attitude, because having a negative attitude about your business, allowing your circumstances to dictate the way you act and feel, is going to totally destroy your business. It's going to make this thing not even get started. Okay? Negative attitudes are the worst thing you could do for anything, because what it is you're fighting yourself. Okay? You're the biggest barrier to your success. And all of it starts with the attitude and how you perceive things. If you come into DS Domination with an open attitude, you come into a DS Domination saying, you know what, I am going to be a success, I am going to make this work, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make it work, that attitude is going to take you far. And you are going to succeed, because that's half the battle. Half the battle is just believing that you can do it. Okay? Now, $20 investment, not much risk there. Okay? And so typically what we tell people is, hey, listen, give it a shot. We'll coach you. We'll work with you. We'll make sure, you're doing everything right. And at the end of 30 days, hey, if you don't like this, well, that's fine. It just wasn't for you. It's not going to be for everybody. Okay? Is it easy money? Yeah, I think it's pretty easy money. Is the concept simple? Absolutely. Is there a skill level? Yes, there is a skill set, and you will have to learn that skill set. Do you have to be coachable? Yes, and you're going to have patience. And so I like to set that expectation for everybody. Whether they sign up with me or they're just inquiring information, I want to make sure that they have all that in front of them on the table before they even get started. Because the last thing I want to do is convince somebody that they're going to have this pipe dream in the sky, pie in the sky dream that's going to make them millions overnight. And I tell people, no, you're not. You're not going to make $1 million this year. Okay? It's December 1st. You're not going to make $1 million by the end of this year, which is in 30 days. But and I'm just saying it's not really December 1st. Obviously, it's July 1st. But so I don't want to fill anybody up with any kind of false hope or expectation that they're going to make all this money right off the bat, because they're not. It's going to take some time. If you apply yourself and you really dig in, yeah, you're going to make some good money, and you can make good money in 30 days. Okay, or even in a couple weeks, just depending on your situation. Okay, so that's what we do for people before they sign up. So these people are typically calling us. We always want to set up a phone conversation, and we talk to them about this stuff. All right, so after they sign up, okay, they said, hey, Alessandro, we're joining your team. Awesome, great. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to welcome them. We're going to put them in the Facebook group, the Dream Team group. We're going to welcome them. We're going to get everybody in the group to welcome them. They're going to feel like they're part of a family. They're going to feel like they made the right decision. They're going to see all this love on Facebook, because Facebook is just a great medium for expressing that. It's a great place where we as a team could encourage others. We could encourage each other to do better. We could spur people on. We could offer advice. We can do whatever we want in Facebook, because it's just the way we communicate. We're all over the country. We're all over the world, for that matter. And as long as we could all communicate and we can be there for each other, I think Facebook is that way to do that. And so you're going to welcome them to the team. You're going to add them to the Facebook group, shout them out, put a picture, do whatever you got to do. Ultimately, people want to feel like somebody else cares for them. They want to feel loved. And I think that's the best way we can possibly do it. From the get-go, and other people can get to know who they are and go from there. All right, so now after they sign up as well, now we have an application. Okay, they're going to have to apply what they're getting ready to learn. And so what I like to say is just do it. The biggest fear that comes upon people is actually getting their first couple listings up. is the biggest thing. And it was intimidating for me as well when I first got started. You know, I'm thinking off the top of my head, I'm thinking, geez, okay, I'm going to make $3 or $4 on a sale. I mean, I really, how am I going to make money doing this business? You know, that was the thought that crossed my head, that crossed my mind when I first got involved. And I'm thinking, you know, this just seems like it's kind of like not worth my time. And I know a lot of other of you guys have thought the same way. But when you see the big scale, when you see the big vision of this, it makes it much more attainable to see how far you can actually go with this. You know, for some people that are out there now, they're thinking the first couple sales, oh, this is no big deal, and now they're making $8,000 a month. And so you look at that and you think, you know, they saw the big picture. They saw where they ended, ultimately where they wanted to end up. And so now what we want to do is we want to get them to apply. So they signed up, they got the welcome letter, they got added to the Facebook group. What we tell everyone that I coach and mentor, we tell them, you know what, go through all the videos once through. Go all the way through the videos. I want you to get the broad overview of what DS domination is. I tell them they could probably watch the videos in about an hour and a half. They go pretty quick, maybe even shorter than that. But I tell them once through, go through the videos. You don't have to take excessive amount of notes. The videos are always going to be there. But I tell people, go through the videos, watch everything. I want you to get the entire picture. Okay? And then what I like to do is get them to watch a webinar. Okay? If they haven't already watched a webinar prior to signing up, we have them watch a webinar to go through a little bit more training. The webinars are great because it really, each one of them is different, and so they may learn something in there that maybe the videos didn't quite go over in detail, and so we have them watch the webinar. And then what I always have them do is go through the second time and watch the videos a second time and actually apply what they're learning. So what I mean by that is typically when I got started, I had my laptop and then I had my desktop computer. My desktop had all my windows open for eBay and Amazon and whatnot, and then my laptop was sitting right next to it, and I was actually watching the video. And when Roger said, okay, now it's your turn, let's put up a listing, I went through exactly step by step. I paused my computer, I put up the listing, I did the next step, pressed play, paused the computer, and then I did the next step. And I went through, and it probably took me about an hour to put up my first listing, but I went step by step. And you know what? I think I even had to do that for my first 2 or 3 listings because I wanted to make sure I did it right. All right? And there's things in the videos that most people don't realize that is being told, but because they watch the video all the way through, it may just glaze over it. And so we always get the people that sign up to watch the video the second time through and stop and apply everything that they're watching. Okay? And then what's going to happen now is they're going to have a lot of questions, most likely. What about this? What about this? I want to tell you this as a mentor, as a coach. If you are that person that does everything for your personal enrollee, they will never learn anything. They will never learn how to look up the answer for themselves. They're always going to Facebook you. They're always going to message you. Can you answer this question for me? Now, I know everybody wants to have instant access to all the answers right away. But I'm telling you right now that if you don't take the time to learn and find the answer yourself, you're not going to be able to train somebody else to do that. And so everyone's going to rely on you for all the answers. And that's not ultimately what you want, because your time is going to be more valuable out there promoting and recruiting than it is to actually sit here and answer questions on Facebook all day long. And so what I want to highly, highly encourage you guys to do is to teach in a loving way, teach your personals to be able to find the answers themselves. Maybe you could refer to a video that they can look up, because the reality is if they find the answer the first time, they'll know the next time they run across that problem, they'll be able to find the answer again. And before they know it, as they start solving their own problems, they come to find out that they're now the eBay expert. Or, well, in their mind at least, they're the eBay expert. And so they're able to answer questions that they normally would have, they wouldn't be able to find before. And so with that being said, you want to highly encourage everyone to go back and refer to the videos. Maybe you could help them out and tell them which video it's in and say, hey, you know what, you need to go look that up. 99% of all their questions are going to be answered in the videos. And if they're not, then you got the help desk and they can help you out as well. But if you are the one that's always answering their questions and solving all their problems, you're going to be their problem solver, and you're going to be the guy that they're talking to all the time. If you like that, that's great, but that's going to consume a good portion of your day, and you're not really going to get what you want to get done, and you're going to find out sooner or later you end up getting burnt out. So what we typically do is try to get them back to the videos, and we also, obviously, you know, and everyone on the team here knows that we keep the questions in the Facebook group to a minimum as far as that goes. We don't want to give out false advice. Everyone seems to be an expert now these days, and so that could cause problems for other people if we don't watch that. All right, let's see here. Looking at my notes. Okay. Basically, what we're talking about here on the application is we're really trying to minimize the amount of time that you have to actually spend doing stuff that's not going to profit you in the long run. And I don't say, when I say not profit you, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean ultimately you want to be out there helping as many people as possible, but you also want to be recruiting. You also want to be out there talking to people, answering questions for potential people that are going to join your team. And so if you get your personals, if you get your signups to go through these steps, you'll find out that you'll have far few questions than if somebody just goes through the videos once and they're going to start asking you questions left and right. So I would highly recommend take the time, coach your team to actually do this process. I think even with Genesis, I've went through and I watched the videos more than twice. You know, I mean, it's a lot of information, both in Pro and Elite and all those other things that we have, the back office. And so highly want to recommend to people that, you know what, it's okay if you got to go over more than twice to watch the videos, because you're just going to keep learning more and more each time. All right, so moving right along here. My throat is drying out here. Okay, so what we do now is we're going to follow up. Okay, so they've gone through all the videos. They put up their first listing or two. And here I got to make a correction. I actually meant to change this to 5 or 3 listings. I left it at 5. I know Kenya mentioned that. I forgot to change that. But what we typically do is we want to follow up with everybody. Okay, so after you get your first 3 listings up, we want to follow up. We want to see how they're doing. We want to make sure they're on the right path. Okay, the last thing I want somebody to do is start putting up a bunch of listings and come to find out that they did everything completely wrong. Now, I'm not going to go put up anybody's listings. Okay, I'm not going to go search around for anybody's listings either. Occasionally, I have done that in the past where I'll get somebody on a screen share or join my screen or whatever, and I will get there and I'll show them the basic concepts and stuff like that, because for some people I just know that if they can visually see it, somebody else doing it, then it clicks for them. And so at times I've done that, and if you're willing to do that, that's completely up to you. I don't think everybody needs that. I think the videos do a pretty good job of being able to show people what they need to do. But occasionally I have been known to do a screen share with somebody just to kind of say, okay, here, this is what it looks like, and I'll walk them through, you know, the spider search or something like that, and we'll find 1 or 2 sellers, and then at that point I say, okay, you put up some listings. But I'm not actually, I'll never go and put up a listing for somebody else on their screen or anything like that. Funny story is we've had people that actually asked us to do that, and I thought that was kind of comical. But anyways, okay, so they're gonna put their first 3 listings up. What you want to go in there is you want to ask them. Obviously, you're going to get their username, and obviously they trust you to give them the username, so you're not going to go steal their listings or anything. But they're going to give you their Amazon or their eBay username, so you can just go in and look at their listings. And you want to look at about 3 listings. Okay, you don't want to sit there and if they have 30 listings up, you're not going to go over all 30 listings with them. Just look up the first 3 or so. Tell them to prepare. When you set this up, you're setting up a meeting, okay? And you're going to keep this meeting to a certain time frame. You're not going to be with them for an hour, okay, on the computer. So what you want to do is, you know, okay, hey, we're going to do a 15-minute call. I'm going to look at 3 of your listings. Here's what I need before we meet or before we talk on the phone. I need you to pick out 3 of your listings. Show me the link to where you found them on Amazon, and then obviously let's see them on your eBay. And then what you want to do at this point is you just want to make sure they're doing, you know, it right. You want to make sure they're not going to lose any money. So, you know, they found it on Amazon, they're selling on eBay, their profit margin's there, they got their fees calculated in there as well. And that's really all you want to do. You just want to make sure that they grasp the concept, okay? Maybe the profit margin is going to be $3, maybe it's going to be $15. Whatever it is, you just want to make sure that they understand the concept. And so going over 3 listings, this should be about a 15-minute call. You know, depending on how much you like the person, if you want to stay a little bit longer, that's up to you. But you know, this shouldn't be something that's an hour long and you're sitting there troubleshooting their listings and stuff like that. So you go over their listings. What I like to do is I like to check up on them until they make their first sale. So, you know, I'm not going to call them every day, but every maybe once a week, or maybe, well, at this time now, people are making sales within the first 24 hours, 48 hours. But what I like to do is maybe every couple of days just check up on them. Hey, how's it going? Oh, well, I haven't gotten a sale yet. Okay, cool. You know, I'll check your listings again. You know, let me make sure you got the right title. Oh, your titling's all messed up. Go back. Let's fix your titles, okay? And so you want to kind of just be with them, check up with them, just to make sure they get off, because if they get off on the right foot and they start making sales and they start understanding the concept and they really take off with this, you're not going to have to deal with it. You're not going to have to deal with them. They're going to be on autopilot at that point. It's just kind of pushing them out of the nest, which is the biggest thing that you'll have to deal with. Once they start flying, I mean, you may never hear from them again. I mean, obviously you do want to hear from them, but I mean, we've had multiple people that we've enrolled that, you know, they got started and you say, hey, how's it going? Oh, it's going great. We don't hear from them for a couple months, and then we come to find out they're making $4,000 or $5,000 a month. I was like, dang, all right, that's cool. So, and then what I like to do is, you know, weekly follow-ups as well. You know, just kind of checking with them. It doesn't have to be on the phone, but maybe you're going to shoot them a Facebook chat. Hey, so and so, just want to check to see how you're doing today. How's your eBay listing? You know, and obviously when you start to get a bunch of you know, a bunch of affiliates, it's going to be harder and harder to do that. And so Facebook is going to be the best way to be able to communicate with them. And so obviously you got them plugged into the Facebook group. So now what you can do is you can encourage them to do Facebook interaction. You know, tell them to comment on posts, tell them to ask questions, you know, to their sponsor, or tell them to, you know, whatever it may be. But you want to encourage that interaction with Facebook, because that's where you can kind of still see what they're doing and still kind of keep an eye on them, making sure everything's good without having to call them or Facebook them or send them a long email or whatever. And so that's what I would highly encourage. That's what we do with our team, with our personal enrollees, is we go through their listings, we follow up with them, make sure they're getting the first couple sales. If it's been a while and they haven't got any sales or whatever, they just got started, then maybe I'm going to go back in and do another phone meeting with them and say, okay, hey, let's see what you're doing here. Look at titling. Weekly follow-ups, you know, if you want to call them, if you want to chat with them on Facebook, even if you just leave a message, you know, just an encouraging message with them saying, hey, you know, we really appreciate you, just thinking about you, hopefully everything's going good, give me a call if you need anything, you know. They just want to know that you're there, ultimately. And then obviously the Facebook interaction. And what's really neat about this is if you guys do this with your team's going to do it with their personal enrollees. And their personal enrollees are going to do it with them, and it's just going to go all the way down the line, and that's ultimately where you're going to get your retention. That's where you're going to get your duplication, is because if you could retain these people, you can make them feel that they're part of something bigger than just what they're accomplishing in DS domination. They're going to stick with you. They're gonna appreciate all that you've done for them. They're gonna see that you really are sincere about helping them, and they're gonna want to stick with you. And that's how you build relationships. That's ultimately where we're at. We're building relationships, and so that's gonna keep your retention at incredible numbers, you know. And that's also going to be able to duplicate your team, because, you know, as an affiliate, you get paid 10 levels down on your pro and elite and all your other levels, except for Genesis, you don't. But you know, you get paid 10 levels down, and so if you can make that go all the way down 10 levels, that's huge, because that's where you're, you know, it's not about the one-time sale you make from your best friend or anything like that. It's about the little monies that you're making all the way down your team, because ultimately everyone's winning, and that's what you want, is you want everybody to win. And when everyone's winning and making money, you're ultimately going to make money. And that's where you need to be. So we have some questions. Any questions? I'm going to open up the chat here, and we will ask away and see what we got. Let's see here. I'm going to let's see how I turn this off here. Okay, so we are back. Okay, so we have some questions up. I'm going to go ahead and go through this here. And I'm going to start out the bottom. And let's see here. Okay. Okay, so everybody here, let's see here. So one of the questions was that came up, and I'm just looking on the chat here, so I'm just going to go down the chat, and I think that should be the best way. I'll look also on the answer questions as well to see anything. But how can we contact team members 3 and 4 levels? Oops. How can we contact team members 3 and 4 levels deep? No email addresses hurt the leaders. Well, that is something, unfortunately, we just won't have access to, and partially is because of that. Is there are people that join your team that will end up joining your team further down the line, and they may be experienced network marketers or whatever, and they have a huge list of names that they're putting in, and they don't typically, I guess, it's just a privacy issue. They don't want to have people have access to all that stuff. The best thing you can possibly do, depending on if the people that you spoke to do not are okay with it, if you could plug them into the team Facebook page, you ultimately could kind of see their name, and so maybe you could friend request them. If you think that they're not connected to anybody or whatever, get them plugged into the website, the Dream Team site, and so from that perspective, you can possibly do that. But ultimately, you really want to respect that affiliates. You want to respect that affiliates list, and if it is somebody that has brought in a bunch of people, I don't know if they really would want you contacting them. And that's kind of a fine line that we just walk, especially in our line of business. There are all different types of network marketers out there. Some are okay with plugging their team in with other people, and some are protective for that. And so I think ultimately that's the reason why we don't see emails past our first level, because they don't want to. They want to respect the privacy of those network marketers, if in case they have their own thing set up. Okay. Ultimately, we have Dream Team set up, and Dream Team is we see 10 levels deep on Dream Team, and so yeah, there's people even on our team that they have no clue that we even exist, just because they're so far separated from any interaction that they may have their own team and we don't know about it. There may be another team underneath the Dream Team that is operating and has maybe another 1,000 people in it, and we just don't know. I mean, ultimately, I think there's over 7,000 people in Dream Team, the 10 levels that we can see, and so, but we don't have access to all that information. So, hopefully, through a friend of a friend or through a sponsor, if something happened, they can somehow get connected if they're not already connected, if it helps them out. So. All right, let's see here. Okay, yes. Okay, let's see here, just going through. Okay, good. Okay. Oh, okay, I see some questions are being answered in here. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Link the sales page or Kevin's cost offset model being the best in your opinion? Okay, so the question is the sales page link or Kevin's cost offset model video the best? Which link do you use to give somebody to a prospect? Ultimately, I think it really depends on who you're talking to and who the prospect is. Um, I have basically given the sales video out to the majority of the people. Get the sales video because they have no idea what DS domination is. Maybe if it's an experienced affiliate or network marketer that's thinking about joining your team and maybe not quite sure, maybe you could show them the cost offset model, and they might actually be more intrigued with that because they really understand the concept of growing affiliate business. And so when they see the cost offset model video that Kevin does, it'll really make a lot of sense to them and resonate with them. So that might be just really depends on who you're marketing to, Keith. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for the compliments. Okay. Yes, when the affiliate site clicked, these afternoons connected to all different style of teaching, the same things. Yes, when the affiliate site clicked, is after I was connected with the dream team, saw different style teaching of the same things. Oh, okay, cool, awesome. See, this is so helpful. Some questions about becoming affiliate. Notes. Okay, let's go around taking notes. Let's see. They wanted immediately. Use my comments, but by the team grew pretty fast. Awesome, cool. Let's see. I'm just looking through all these guys. Just bear with me here. A lot of questions. Well, that's actually just a lot of comments. Okay, here's a question from Daniel. Have you ever had someone sign up and request not to be added to the Dream Team? If so, how would you address this? I had we had one time somebody that signed up and we ultimately we added them to the Dream Team, and they actually did not want to be added. They didn't want anybody to know that they were doing another company, and so we respect that privacy. For most people that you know other companies that people join have restrictions that they can't be involved in multiple companies at the same time, and so if that's the case, you just need to respect that. If they choose to start an alias Facebook account or whatever, and then they want to be connected to the Facebook or to the Dream Team group just to kind of see what's going on, you can do that as well. Because sometimes they just want to respect their privacy and not get called out because it could jeopardize their income or their check from another company. And so, with that, just respect that and say, the alternative is you could start a a dummy Facebook account or whatever. And then we can add you in there so you just kind of see the action, because ultimately with Facebook there's just a lot of stuff going on in our Facebook group, and we definitely would. That's really a cool way to keep people connected, even though they may not interact a lot or whatever. It's really a great way, because what we see in the Facebook group is just testimonies of success after success. I think last week we did a post, was awesome. Dan Crowley, we did a post, what his experience, and I had no idea what he was doing with the Genesis, and he was telling me, and it just dropped my jaw, and I said, Dan, I got to call you. I got to make sure I get this story right, because this is amazing. So many people are going to be encouraged by this, and so I talked to him and went over and I posted this thing, and I mean, it just stories like that encourage people. And so if you have somebody on the fence or have somebody having a hard time, if you plug them into the group, they're gonna be lifted up. They're gonna be encouraged, and that's ultimately where you want to be. So, but I would definitely respect the privacy of the individual, especially if they're in another company, and there may be people from their older company also in Dream Team, and they don't want to be called out. So I would respect that and find an alternative way to get them plugged in, like a dummy account or whatever. Let's see here. Okay, I notice folks go outside and get their own capture pages? Are you guys recommending that, maybe suggesting Market Extreme or grow the affiliate side of the business? There is a lot of cool things that we are doing in the Dream Team itself. We have plenty of training there. We'll teach you to get you started on the affiliate side. We also are coming out with some awesome capture pages and funnels for you guys here in the next couple weeks, and these things are going to be just amazing. So what I would recommend is obviously you can definitely look at Market Extreme and do that if you want, or you know, we have a bunch of free stuff in the back office right now for Dream Team that you can look at. But yeah, we are going to be coming out with a series of funnels and capture pages for you guys. So, okay, let's see here. Genesis, there is an intro. Rick, you asked if there's an intro video to Genesis. Yes, there is. And if you haven't gotten that link, we can get you that link. It's basically, there's a link, and then you put your username in there, and it'll be tied directly to you, and so you can use that, and we'll get that for you if you don't already have it. I think it might be posted in the Dream Team, though. Oh, Kenya posted it. It's there already. Keith, I think you're talking about the matrix system for Hitesh. I think I think a lot of that, what he was talking about, had to do with DS options, and so that's kind of something that's a whole another animal that I fully don't have all the answers to as well. All right, let me go to the questions here, see if I could find. Oops. Kelly's question is, are there any other programs such as an autoresponder that we need to purchase when becoming an affiliate? Having an autoresponder is going to be key, especially when you become an affiliate, because you want to have to, you're ultimately, what you're doing as an affiliate is you're building a list. You're building a list of people, okay? And that list of people is going to have to be marketed or on an autoresponder frequently. And so what we are doing is part of the web capture pages and funnels that we're going to be coming out with is going to have an autoresponder attached to it. So you're going to be able to have all that information at your disposal. And so I would say hold off on getting anything at this point, because within the next week or so, week or two, we're going to have all our systems in place, and you guys will have all that information at your fingertips. Let's see, do you have a link for the Dream Team Facebook group? Yes. We will get that for you. If somebody here will post that in here. There's a couple administrators for that group, and so they'll have to add you to get that done. Okay, how about the 2-minute video where Roger has a suit jacket on talking about DSD and new prospects? Can't find anywhere. Is one I've seen or connected to a rep. I think I know which one that is. That's one where he has kind of the video up in the front. And so that video is available. I believe it's even in the back office of the Dream Team. So I believe that's back there as well. I will check with Kenya on that. Okay, let's see. The Q&A, opening up the Q&A real quick. Oh, okay. There's no Q&A on here unless I turned it on. All right, it looks like people have posted the DS Domination group there. Yes, so have your sponsor add you guys to the group. Ultimately, everybody that's added to the group has to be verified. We want to make sure that we have people that are in the Dream Team, and so if you guys, when you guys do add people to the group, if you do get a message from Kat Adkins asking for your username, if you can supply that information to her, that will make things a lot easier for us because we do verify everybody in the group. There is a lot of information in the Files tab and whatnot that is exclusive to Dream Team people, and so we want to make sure that we keep that secured back there with people that are part of the Dream Team. Let's see. Okay. A couple other questions here. Let's see. Chat. All right. Awesome. What time are we at? Oh my goodness, 8:50. I told myself mentally that I was just going to make this a 30-minute webinar, and I already made it 50 minutes. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call that a wrap unless anybody has any other questions. Let's see here. Awesome. So many people that have joined us for the webinar. Very cool, very cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, folks. Well, we are at our time. I apologize. I went over 8:50. I always tend to get a little winded when I start talking. I don't have the clock in front of me. But anyways, so it's 8:50, guys. Gosh, I just want to say thank you. We truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. You know, it's really, without you guys, there is no Dream Team. You know, Dream Team is not about me or about Kenya or about Trent or you know, any of the other people on the team. It's about everybody. It's about everything that we do on a daily basis, and we really are all pulling in tandem to grow this. And we know that as we keep pulling in tandem, everyone's winning in this. And this is crazy, that the amount of success that we have with DS Domination just blows me away. And what you guys are going to experience in the next 6 months is going to be just mind-boggling, especially as an affiliates. We have some really smart owners of the company, you know, Roger and Hitesh and Kevin. I mean, these guys are just great at coming up with new things, and, you know, really blessed to have them, and really blessed to have all you guys. It's just been absolutely amazing to see everyone doing their part and joining, and, you know, with their Project 12 videos and whatnot, and goal setting, and, you know, we're seeing a huge success with Genesis. We're seeing huge success with Pro and Elite and Monopoly, and so ultimately, you know, we're here for you guys, and ultimately we want to make this training as easy as possible for you guys to just grab a hold of and run with. So with all that being said, I am going to sign out, and we will see you guys on the other side. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.